Some weeks ago, two members of the hacking group Random Acts of Violation were issued with a cease and desist order from Activision Blizzard lawyers, who apparently turned up on their doorstep. The name most associated with RAOV is known publicly only as Shorty, and he subsequently published a statement through his YouTube channel. As of 10/17/2018, RAOV Community will cease to be used for its original purpose. RAOV Community will effectively be shut down and will no longer encourage the use of any malicious intent towards Blizzard Entertainment or its affiliates. Let this serve as a warning to all. Now, I'm tempted to thank Blizzard for removing my main competitors, and Random Acts of Violation were not the type of group you want as competition. They were very focused and highly intelligent. That said, this is too serious an issue to be trivialized. I've always tried and mostly succeeded in having good relations with the rest of the exploit community, and I was genuinely sad to see such a legendary group finally go under. Random Acts of Violation, for most of its history, was a highly fluid organisation with an ever-changing membership whose activities in their heyday must have given Blizzard developers nightmares. They used high-level methods to disrupt the game, with often spectacular results. For most of its history, RAOV existed as a group that would upload something truly astonishing to owncore.com and then vanish for months on end, often releasing exploits publicly to misdirect Blizzard as to what they were actually doing in private. Shorty was the constant nucleus of the operation, with many of the members going on to become significant names in the exploit community in their own right. The group didn't use exploits exclusively, often employing third-party hacking tools to manipulate the game externally. I've been asked not to go into the specifics of the technical side of what RAOV did by former members, but in very general terms, to use a blackjack analogy, someone who exploits the game takes advantage of loopholes that exist in the code, like a card counter does, whereas what RAOV did was closer to what a card mechanic does, metaphorically switching aces into the deck when the dealer isn't looking. Relatively recently, the exploiter Hasbazi had acted as a moderator for a modern dynamic incarnation of RAOV, which included a Discord group which sold exploits and hacking methods. Hasbazi contacted me recently and explained that Activision Blizzard had in their legal papers mentioned that a major factor in the cease and desist order they'd sent to him had been the creation of a hidden group. The way the Random Acts of Violation Discord worked was this. You had to submit an original exploit to gain entry. Now, this is quite different from paywall-based systems or reputation-based systems. Something clearly bothered Blizzard about the hidden nature of this group, and Hasbazi suggested that to gain entry to the restricted access section of the Discord, Blizzard would have to submit an exploit themselves, which would have violated their own protocols. Hasbazi further elaborated that a lot of the reason for the legal action was the use of third-party hacking tools. Now, I've always had very mixed feelings about what RAOV did. On the one hand, they were intellectually brilliant, and it is difficult not to be impressed by their skills. On the other hand, I've always had a strong personal preference in whatever game I'm playing to beat it using only its own rules. Of course, if a company like Blizzard Activision writes shitty code or doesn't allow for some possible combination of game actions, that is their mistake and their problem. Using a third-party hacking tool is, to my mind, just too easy. My main interest in such things is limited to determining whether some vulnerability exists in the game code, rather than actually creating one. Now, some members of the Warcraft community may be celebrating the demise of a major hacking group, but the truth is that Blizzard have actually achieved very little here, and may in fact have made their problems substantially worse. Whilst the organisers may have been silenced, within literally hours, the RAOV Discord members had created new groups, and this time with a decentralised structure. Blizzard should perhaps have turned towards their own law before initiating legal action, and had they done so, maybe they would have considered that there must always be a glitch king. Without some kind of centralized organization, then the exploit community can very easily go underground. In conclusion, I'd like to thank Hasbazi for providing me with inside information about exactly what happened. Hasbazi has his own YouTube channel, which I'll link to below, and I check it out. He's going to continue uploading interesting World of Warcraft content of a non-exploitative nature. Most of the content in this video comes from Hasbazi's channel. Thanks for watching. This has been Archvelder.